there are a lot of short stories that connect with the novels and that will supplement and enrich them. These are things that you'll want to dabble into over the coming years and decades. You can't read them all at once. And you'll want to read them more than once. And every time you go back to them, they'll give you new perspectives on some of the other material that you've read. It's just a continuously growing world, and not without some even blatant inconsistencies. I was looking this over today, and he's talking about some of the inconsistencies, not only in certain characters, but in certain novels. And he raised the point that I hadn't noticed, and I'm going to test you and see if any of you had. He raises the point that when Sutphen's 100 was built, it was built of bricks. They even built a kiln out there. But by the time Sutphen's 100 is destroyed, it's turned to wood. And it's completely inflammable. Somehow Faulkner lost track of that one. And I think it's understandable how in building such a complex world that there would be inconsistencies. It's almost inconceivable that there wouldn't be. He also mentioned some of the inconsistencies among characters and how sometimes, not always, but sometimes they'll change between one story and another. And that brings us really to the last issue that we need to talk about tonight. Some of the carryover characters that we meet in this novel that we'll be carrying over to some of our other readings. And one of these is Surratt, the sewing machine salesman.
Oh, yeah.
Who has the little sewing machine in the little container on the back of the pickup bed, and takes a buyer out to the bootleggers and runs them all over the countryside and so forth, which he points out seems to become a somewhat different character. Actually, he even has his name changed. He's V.K. Surratt, C-S-U-R-A-T-T, in this novel. He becomes V.K. Ratliff in the other novels and stories. So when you meet him in the Hamlet, which will be your next meeting with him, he will then be Ratliff. Keep yourselves on the lookout for whether the character changes. Actually, it seems to change more in the succeeding novels of the trilogy. But once again, it's kind of fun to watch for these little slips.